Okie dokie. I feel like we're not even prepared because we don't have a bunch of wigs in front of us.
I know.
Hey, y'all.
Hey, everybody. Hey, TikTok.
Yes, ma'am.
So you can see Misty K.
Mr. K. Oh, we are here.
We
Can you scooch over a little bit for Instagram? All right.
Is that
Now,
better?
I think we're here. I think we're good. Oh, I need to get this out. We don't even have any slides to do today. I mean, we are just like.
Hi, everybody. Hi, Melissa. Hi, Holly.
Hi, Nan. Hi, Rosebud.
Oh, well, it's getting cooler here.
Well, the high today's 92. It's just a regular cold front.
Better than 102.
I think this weather is actually just really good. Although one day it was really humid. I don't remember what day that was, and it felt hot, which
Yeah.
I didn't feel like even on 102-degree days it felt that hot because it wasn't humid.
Yeah, but this morning when I went out, I was like, oh, it's kind of cool. Feels
Oh,
good.
you know, I keep saying it. I'm just never happy. I'm never happy with the weather.
Allie
either
says they
cold
have
or hot.
frost on the pumpkin.
Oh,
Okay.
Allie, I just couldn't. I don't know how she does it. She must be a tough woman.
She sent me a picture of the fall colors in Alaska, and it's just like, it looks like a painting. It doesn't even look real. It's so pretty.
It's beautiful. I mean, I have never been there. You've been to Alaska. I have not. But I love the mountains, so I know I would love it. Just not in the wintertime. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm cold in here right now. I
Not
have chill bumps.
in the dead of winter. I mean, that's a long, long winter.
Mm-hmm.
But then this time of the year, I'm always jealous because they get the fall earlier.
I always said I wanted to spend one winter in the north, just to see if I could do it.
Well, I've done it.
I know you have, and you talk about having to wear those like ankle length coats,
Mm-hmm.
and then I think, who am I kidding? I couldn't do it. I probably could when I was younger, but the last couple of years, the cold just hurts me. It just,
Yeah. Well, I was a lot younger then.
I couldn't do it now. Couldn't do it.
Oh, Cindy says she loves her lilash, that her lashes have never looked better.
I love that stuff too. In fact, how long have we been using that now?
Excuse me.
Like 6, 7 years at least. It's just my favorite. My favorite.
We have bought it all
Yeah.
from all over the world.
Yes. From
And-
places I didn't even know existed. That Kim said were featured in an episode of Lost.
No,
Not Lost. Amazing Race?
Survivor.
Survivor, if that tells you anything.
Yeah, from Vanuatu.
Yes. And I put that stuff on my eyes. And it worked.
It did work. And then somehow they didn't let them ship to the United
Yeah, then they
States
just like cut it
anymore.
off. The FDA said, nah, But that just goes to show you the
So-
links we'll go to
So
look
wonder
beautiful.
we're not blind.
Yeah, well. So, I have what we're wearing up there on a slide, but let's go ahead and tell Instagram and TikTok
Oh,
what we're wearing.
Okay. I've got Goddess on by Raquel Welch and Shaded Cappuccino.
I have on Reese by Noriko and Sugar Cane R. You know, it's funny because if different lighting, we've got 3 different lighting. In TikTok, we look very different color-wise.
Yeah.
But if you're looking up here, and even on Instagram, our colors kind of look similar, even though they're really not.
Yeah, that's true.
This is an exclusive color that we had made for us.
Yeah.
So if you think, oh, I've worn Reese for years. I didn't know they made in that color. Well, they don't.
They don't.
But we do.
Mhm.
So we've made this for a very dear friend who we found out is no longer with us. So
Yeah.
I'm wearing this in her honor today.
Yeah.
We miss Julie.
Yes, we do.
So.
All right.
What are we talking about today?
Well, this is part 2 of everybody's feedback on what they would like to see the wig manufacturers do with their wigs and constructing. I think what we're going to talk about today is focused on cap construction. So everybody, thank you for your comments. We had a whole lot of comments on the cap construction and things that you guys would like to see done. So
Yeah, you and Carrie did an awesome job talking about the color. I mean, color was the number one response from. I think we got over 400 responses from you guys, and so we thought, well, we'll just take it in the most popular topic down to the least popular, and so the second most popular was caps.
yeah.
You know, and I kind of put them in order here of what you guys wanted to talk about.
Yeah, and I think with regard to cap, most of the most comments were about extending the sizes, so making more in petite, more in large cap, and even something that is Tony Beverly makes an ultra petite. It'd be nice if somebody made an ultra large, like larger than large, because I had a lady call the other day. Her head circumference was 25 inches.
I still think she mismeasured. Haven't heard of a head that big in all my wig years, but that's, I don't know, maybe true. And especially if you've got a large size head and you do wear wigs with hair, if you have hair under there, that adds some bulk to it as well. But they just need size options.
Yeah, just sheer comfort.
And people have to realize that they can't. They're not able to make every wig in every size.
Right.
So they're obviously going to take their most popular styles and maybe do some extended sizes in those, but they still need more than what they got.
Yeah. Now, one thing I will say is probably, I don't know, 5-6 years ago, they did not make long wigs in a large cap.
They didn't really make anything large cap.
No.
Because I remember Allure.
Mm-hmm.
There were like 2 or 3 wigs that came in large cap, and they were not styles that, if someone came in their 20s, wanted to wear.
Yeah.
And so they're finally starting to listen, and we hope they listen more.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a real definite hole to this is me talking in hand tied large cap.
Yeah,
There's
there is.
Cameron by John Renault, which is fully hand tied large cap. But there's not a whole lot of hand tied.
Yeah, Tempo Deluxe by Ellen Villa comes in a large cap. It's fully hand tied. But the other thing is, the mid length. So you can get short pixie, that's pretty easy, or you can get long, but the mid length is where there's a hole. Cameron is mid length as well as the Tempo Deluxe, but it'd be nice if they made Goddess in large cap or some other mid length.
Mm-hmm. So definitely, definitely the size. But one thing that I was thinking about when I was typing this out is not even necessarily, okay, first of all, it's easier to make a wig smaller than it is to make it bigger, okay? But not only making it bigger, but maybe just using a different material, a different elastic, because I know that some of the Ellen Villa, even though they're technically considered petite average, they will stretch to a large size head.
Yeah.
So, maybe if, say, for instance, Noriko, which is a lot better than it used to be. It used to be so tight and small that even their average, I felt, kind of ran on the more petite side. But even if they just pick a different fabric or a different, what am I trying to say?
To allow it more stretch.
To give it more stretch. It may still fit snug, which I kind of like the way that feels when it's snug. But yet it's stretched to accommodate bigger sizes, but yet still was, stretchy enough to fit a smaller head. There's just, with all the technology we got in this world, there's got to be something that's going to make a wig fit more head sizes than just average.
Well, the Aesthetica does that. Aesthetica has their pure stretch. But, there's usually pretty good stretch in there.
Yeah, they used to be a really I used to consider Aesthetic on the large side. I think now some of them are smaller than others. There's a lot of, I feel like I love Aesthetica, but there's some inconsistency size-wise, I feel like, between styles. Some fit smaller, some fit larger. And I learned that specifically with Rhonda when we were holding one, she's a petite size, and I do alterations on her wig. And I held one that fit her perfect and then ordered a different one, different style. I'm telling you, it was like 2 inches bigger. 2 inches. It was crazy. So, we'll see. But anyway, the next thing was specifically geared to petite sizes. I don't know how. I am really hoping that we get some feedback from the wig manufacturers. We haven't yet from our first video. I'm going to sit down and keep emailing that to our reps. But how they structure this. I mean, someone made a comment, and I wholeheartedly agree with this. Because we do a lot of alterations, on average size to make them smaller because they don't come in petite. But from ear to ear, not just circumference-wise. Circumference easy just to take up, but when you're doing an alteration, you've got somebody that has a wig and it's sitting so far down on their ear, there's really not a way to take it up this way very easily without, it's just not easy. It's not easy. So, if they would just restructure how they do.
And I had a lady yesterday that in that exact situation, even the petites were riding down on her ear. And if you have your wig riding down on your ear, it creates a sore spot and it's painful.
Mm-hmm. And, I'll just show you the inside of this. I've taken wefts out and shortened these ear tabs plenty of times, and you can do that easily. But then you also have to take into consideration when you do that, how everything else is going to fit back together, and is it going to, have the same curvature of a head shape, if they're going to be sticking out pieces. There's a lot that goes into an alteration, so, it would be nice to know how they figure out what their specs are for when they, I used to say, because this is what we were told from Raquel Welch back in the day, is that everything's just a 1/4 inch smaller. The hair's 1/4 inch shorter, the cap's 1/4 inch smaller, everything's 1/4 inch smaller. So I don't know if that's how they do it or not, but it would be nice to know that.
Yeah.
All
right, thinner density around the ears.
This is for you ear tuckers.
Yeah. Sometimes there's too much hair to put it behind the ears, especially if your ears are small. And that's something that you guys texture a lot.
Yes.
That's a big thing where they want this part textured.
Yeah, because it makes your ears stick out if you've got a lot. And plus, it does not just, aesthetic looking, but it's an issue because it doesn't stay tucked.
Right.
If you've got too much bulk, it won't stay back there. Your ears, even if you have an average size ear, there's just too much to stay back there. So, even someone made a comment, and I didn't type it in because it was a lot, but I may be able to find it. But taking, the front part of the wig and having less density than the back part, leaving the same amount of density in the back. Everybody's got thicker hair in the back naturally, and just making less density in the front, which, you want it to look natural, but that's why I always suggest, if you're going to tuck and you have that issue, just tuck a little bit. But it'd be nice to be able to tuck all of it.
Mm-hmm.
So less density around the ears.
All right. People want more extended lace fronts and silicone in the wig. So they want to be, this one is temple to temple. I think most people like to see more ear to ear.
Yeah, John Renaud did that whole thing with their light caps, which were absolutely wonderful for people who could do it.
Right. You have to have no hair.
You have to have no hair and have the perfect size head. Otherwise, it just doesn't, the lace, if it lays on top of hair, it doesn't look natural. So it looks like hair with lace on top of hair. So taking that concept, but bringing it down just a little farther than the normal temple, because that leads us to another issue.
Right. It's this right here that people don't like.
Yeah, where this meets up. So if you were to extend that just a little bit further, then that always gets past that little hump of right where that temporal bone is, where that meets up and makes it thicker. Because this is the widest part of your forehead anyway, or your head. And so if you've got a bunch of density right there where all that's meeting up, then it just looks really thick. And that's something that, texturizing can't really do. I mean,
and it also depends on how they sew the wig because some of them will put enough hair to cover the place where the lace is meeting up with the cap, and others it is just like a neon sign. Some of them.
Yeah, and I mean, even color, color depend. You know, it depends on color too. So if they were just to extend that down just a little farther, then it would be easier just to kind of, I feel like, blend that in a little bit. It's not that much, guys.
No, it's not.
Do it a little bit farther.
Yeah. What else we got?
We mentioned the more silicone inside. I mean, especially for people who have, you know, little to no hair, and you have a lot of like skin showing, or you know, where you don't have a lot of hair to grip to a wig grip or something. That silicone makes a huge difference. It even makes a difference if you do have hair.
Yeah,
so
it does.
Excuse me. So Raquel is the only company really, I feel like, that's doing that, right? I can't think.
Ellen Villa's doing some, but Noriko's not doing any.
I don't think. I might have seen that on. Y'all, Noriko's got new styles. Little plug, Noriko's got new styles coming out middle of the month. So,
all right,
keep watching for that. Yeah, silicone. I mean, we can sew that in. It's very time consuming and expensive, you know, to purchase that separately and fit it. So it's not really cost effective to do it, I don't feel like. But it's easy if you just do it from the beginning.
Right.
So.
Right. Yeah, those sheets of silicone that we buy are very expensive.
And then, you know, getting them just, I like the Raquel caps that have those in there. I love that.
Yeah.
And we kind of covered the next one already. The less noticeable transition from the monofilament lace top to the wefts at the side.
Yeah.
Some just scream at you right here. And so that's when the lace meets the wefting. And like I said, that already is an issue on every wig, I feel. You know, unless you're super narrow right here, which I am not, I'm round. I mean, you don't want it to be too full, and it's just, you don't want that lace and the wefting to look too different.
Someone's asking about your root. Look at me so I can see it. They're wanting to know if that's medium brown. I think it's
darker.
It's got a little bit more warmth to it than medium brown, but it's not black. It's not like dark brown, but a little deeper than medium brown, if that helps.
Yeah, like just a brunette, like a dark chocolate color.
Yeah. All right. We get this in the store, and the itchy lace. You know, some people just cannot tolerate that. And for those people that can't tolerate the lace, it'd be nice if they made more monofilament without the lace front, because some people want that.
That was actually a comment. I didn't type that in, but yeah, that was actually a comment someone made.
But if the lace is itchy, it's hard. I mean, I trim all my lace with the John Renault pinking shears, and that helps break up that line and the pressure of the lace. But if it's itchy, you know, anything extra you have when that lace is itchy is going to just make it worse. So I trim mine pretty far back.
You know, and there are some, and I don't understand, like, all the gabors not like this, but some of the gabors are itchier than others. But I really feel like it's not even so much the lace as the knotting on the back. Mm-hmm. So I don't know, maybe someone from Raquel will watch this, one of their designers, and get back with us and let us know. Because for the most part, they're not that way. But I had someone call the other day and say, you know, I ordered this wig, you know, she didn't order it from us. She's like, and I just want to know, you know, did I get something that's defective? Is that the way they all are? So I go back to the shelf, I pull a couple out of the box, and I'm like, that's the way it is. It does feel a little rougher. I mean, and so that's just the way, you know, it's like a clothing line. You know, I don't know why some Adidas tennis shoes fit my feet better than others.
Right.
You know, it's just, that's the way they are. When it comes down to it, I don't think they're all made at the same factory, so who knows? I mean,
no.
They have different ways of making them.
Every line has several different factories. Someone's asking if we have a tutorial on trimming the lace, and I don't think we do, so we can work on doing that. It's pretty easy.
We can. There's just always things you never want to go back into the hairline. Cut off the minimal amount that you can, and I don't know, I'm a stickler for making sure that it lines up. And we skipped this one by accident.
Okay. We've got examples of this one. People are saying they want less hair in the mono part because sometimes they've made it so dense that you can't even see the part. And so I think one of the people made the comment, why would you pay for monofilament if you can't even see the part?
I didn't even break a liner to put this on.
Oh.
Let me get some. Can I get a liner? Can someone give me a liner, please? Can someone give me a liner? A liner. Sorry. They're not even paying attention to me. Someone's asking if I cut bangs in this. No, this is straight from the box. I have cut bangs in my Reese's before, but this one, no, I did not cut. Okay, thank you. All right, so I'm going to put this on just so you can see what we're talking about. I'm not going to tell you what these wigs are, though. I'll tell you what brand. I'll tell you what brand the second one is. And what style the second one is. Because this looks good. It's just I want you to see the difference,
Jill says the Reese on the website has a lot of bang. Reese can have a lot of bang. I don't think you really did anything to that. It just came out of the box and was hanging right, and she had it kind of pulled back mostly. But you can have a lot of bang with a Reese, or you can have a little bit.
I mean, the style is cute. I don't want anyone to think I'm knocking this, because I'm not, because I love this. But this is an example of a more dense part.
Yeah, and I mean, unless she pulls it apart, you can't really see the part.
Even when I pull it, it's still, there's not a defined part. So some people will go in and pluck their part line just because they want to see more of that. Some people are a different mindset. They're like, I have thin hair. I don't want to see my scalp, so why would I want to have a wig that looks like scalp? So it's to each his own, But this is, I wanted to give you an example. So this is one that has a more dense monofilament part, okay? Now I'm going to show you something that has a more and I picked these darker colors so that we could. Now, if you can.
Yeah, you can definitely see that one.
So.
No, the dark one was not Reese.
No, these, I'm not saying what these are. These just, for example, just on the mono part. Because this is not about style, this is just about construction. So that one would take on a scalp color a lot easier than that first style. So that's one thing that people are saying. If we're going to pay extra for a mono part, we actually want to see the mono.
And as far as advising you when you're trying to buy things online, how do you know that? Just study the stock photos, look at every angle you can, and that's the best thing. I mean, you can always email us and we can tell you, but really look at the pictures. And so especially with some of these companies where they style the wigs to make them look better, look at what it originally looks like out of the box, because Raquel will show something beautifully styled, but they'll also show, in all the images, they'll show, oh, well, this is what it looks like right out of the box. So you've just got to be so careful when you're looking and trying to make a decision about what the pictures are. Blow it up. Look at it close.
Mm-hmm. Sarah's saying that most parts are knotted way too densely. Speaking of knots, that goes back to the lace front. Oh, well, that's actually our last, I don't know. I typed these and don't even remember what I typed. That'll transition right into the last thing we're going to talk about. Lace front.
What are we going to talk about lace fronts?
The knots.
Oh, yeah, the dark knots.
The dark knots. Everything is so intricate and fine. If you've never really examined a lace front up close, get yourself some magnifying glasses and, get your lace front wig out and really look at it. I mean, it's a very delicate piece of material, okay? So that's why we always say that's the most delicate part of your wig. It's like I say it like a broken record around here. It's like a running pantyhose. If you start getting that lace and it starts, fraying and you don't take care of it right then, you're going to have a ruined wig. I mean, you can't go back and add a lace to a wig that's, existing. You can't change that or fix it. But look at it. Really examine your wig. Don't just get it out of the box and throw it on your head and never, you have to get to know your wig. You have to really examine it and say, okay, how am I going to take care of this? How am I going to do this? Those things are important, especially if you're, wearing a wig for the long haul.
Yeah.
You don't want to, drop, a few $100 on something and then all of a sudden, I had a lady, she had a wig, had a lace front, went on vacation, let everyone on vacation take pictures with her wig and, everybody, they were just having the best time. I imagine there was some alcohol involved. I'm not lying. And she comes back and she's like, I don't know what happened to this wig. Her lace looked like it had literally been like, I don't even know, like, I can't even describe. And I'm like, well, it's ruined. And she's like, what? And so then I showed her a new one and she's like, I had no idea. Well, it happens. You have to really get to know your product. So look at it. Realize how delicate that is. So there's only so small these knots can be. I said all that to say this. There's only so small those knots can be. But they can change the color. And just like with yours, I mean, Raquel is excellent at this. Putting those lighter highlight pieces right there around the hairline where it blends into the skin tone a little bit better.
Yeah, because if you're going to the hairstylist and you're getting your hair foiled, then you're not going to, it's not going to be all dark at your hairline.
Mm-hmm.
Some hairdressers will do that, and it kind of looks weird sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, if you're a good hairstylist and you really want, to have a loyal client, people care about their money, and so you want to have someone, be able to extend their appointments and so getting all that natural growth out. So that's what they're, I don't know, I feel like that's what they're trying to mimic, where, you don't have those harsh lines anywhere. And I love the fact that they're doing that. And I just wish that the other companies would really step on board with that too.
Especially John Renault, because on John Renault, I don't know why, but some of the styles that they have will have the lighter pieces and others don't. Ellen Villa's good about staggering, and so the hair at that lace always looks great. And Raquel Welch always puts the lighter pieces, which is really nice. Sometimes people have complained because they think it looks a little stripy.
That's
and I think there have
been,
they've made some improvements.
But yeah, it can look a little stripy, depending on, I think that goes back to style specific sometimes too. But yeah, I mean, they're just, the thing of it is, it's like a computer or a washing machine or a car. There's always room for improvement.
Yeah.
And they're always working on it. It's not like they just sit back and twiddle I don't think. I mean, they just sit back and twiddle their thumbs and say, well, we did it. We achieved it. We got the perfect wig. We're just going to take these people's money for the rest of our lives. Ha, ha, ha. It's not like that. So, I mean, I feel like that's why we wanted to do these videos, to let them know that this is what people are saying. And I know they probably have focus groups and they have all these things, but, we're out here every day.
Yeah.
I mean, we've been in this business a long time. And we have a pretty broad customer base all over the world. And so this is our intent, not to bash anybody.
Well, and I have to say, okay, let's pick on, well, I'm not picking, Raquel Welch and Ellen Villa. The last collection that Raquel came out with, I'm sorry, I'm talking about something, not telling you what I'm talking about. One of the comments was if they would, when the transition piece from the lace part to the wefting, if that could be improved upon. And with Raquel Welch and the last Ellen Villa collection, they have redesigned the cap so that that transition is so much smoother.
It is smoother. It is smoother. I mean, I feel like this is probably too much to ask, and because I don't understand how a wig's made. Somebody commented they wish that they would be able to show us what it looks like from start to finish. Why don't someone put there's probably some trade secrets involved. I don't know. But what does it look like to make a wig? I mean, where do they start?
Right.
I mean, I always have this, vision of, Susie sitting down in a sewing machine and, doing this thing. And I say that all the time, just a human makes this, so there is room for error, and that's why they say usually there's, a certain percentage of variance that can happen between, the styles, even if you get the same style, same color. But I wish that they would say, okay, well, on a human head, hair is less dense at the front.
Right.
Always just, and I know that they probably may already do that. I don't know. I did watch the live when Raquel did their latest collection, and Frank was mentioning about how they weight the top of them. And I've said this before too. People say, well, this, say for instance, this side just looks thicker than this side. Well, it is, because it's parted that direction, and I don't understand. I mean, he touched on that, but I wish, that I understood how they weighted that, and and maybe they could weight them a little differently in the front than they do the back.
Yeah, and there's tons of science that goes into and research development that goes into making the wigs, and they they do the best they can, but the actual end users are the ones that will
always go back to how they say that the bra was invented by a man.
Okay, I did not know that.
Yes, I've always heard that the bra was invented by a man, and so I always am like, okay, that's great, but they need, anyway, I ain't gonna get off on that.
We could just go way off the board
and
on
we've
that.
already gone 32 minutes, so.
All right. So anyway, that's cap construction. Those are your wishes, and we hopefully over time they will make improvements. Every time a collection comes out, they've changed something for the better. So.
Yeah, and some changes work, some don't.
Yeah.
And they don't repeat it. You don't know until you try.
Yeah, the only thing I just still have an issue with on the cap construction is making something mostly hand-tied and only putting a monofilament part in it. I think because by that time...
calling it hand-tied.
And calling it hand-tied, and then the price point for that is going to be a lot higher than a lot of the other wig cap constructions. And you've paid all this money, and you only have the ability to put the part in the part.
Mm-hmm.
And so it seems like a lot of...
I have an issue with that, too.
Yeah. It just make the whole thing...
Semantics.
Yeah.
Okay, and I'm about to get out of here and let Marsha's back finally.
Oh, yeah, Marsha's back.
Thank goodness. Marsha's customers now, they be missing her. They be missing Marsha.
She has a cult following.
She does. Marsha's wonderful.
She
I
is.
missed her too. I missed her a lot. I tried not to text her very much because she doesn't get to see her baby boy and very much. So I was like, well,
Her baby boy, 30.
He's 30 something.
She just doesn't look old enough to have a kid that old. So.
But I will say we're going to do at least another episode of this because, like I said, we got a lot of feedback from you guys. The next one's going to be on hair fiber. So, anyway, I'm going to get out of here. Good to see you all. And I'll see you next week. Bye.
Woohoo! There you are.
Guess who's back in town?
Oh, I know. She had us giggling and laughing on Monday, so.
Hi, y'all. Guess what time it is?
Sale time.
It's time for the
You
sale
came up
of
with
the
something
day.
special today.
I did.
Sometimes Marsha just goes off on her own.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
Because she got
Thanks, Kim.
peeps.
Peeps.
Peeps you got to keep happy.
Ooh,
Now,
we're
we
gonna
said
have-
you have a cult following.
You did? You
Yeah.
said that? You told everybody?
Yep.
Oh, wow.
All right, Mimi's exclusives.
Yes, that's right. So it's 25% off Mimi's exclusives. And thank you, guys. So can you put that back up there for a minute?
Yeah.
Because I know there's extra stuff. So the code is exclusive 25, and it is what we have in stock.
Yes.
So if you can put it in your cart, then it's available. If you can't, then
But if you put it in your cart and you let your cart sit and you don't pay for it, if we sell out, you will not get yours. So,
right.
you know,
So it's just while it's available.
yeah, it's first come, first serve.
Yeah.
There are limited quantities. So, yeah, if you can.
Yep. So the code again is exclusive 25. All right, guys, get to shopping.
All right, y'all have a great week. We'll
Yep.
see you next time. As always, we appreciate everybody watching and your comments, and we appreciate all of you.
Yep. Y'all have a good one.
Bye.
Bye.